about men just being disgusting, we now have DDG, who apparently is also a domestically violent man. In case you don't know who DDG is the ex-partner of Halle. Halle is part of Halle and the girl who did Mermaid, the Little Mermaid, yeah? The Little Mermaid, Halle. Apparently, DDG, her ex-partner, her ex-boyfriend, and the father of her child, has now been officially asked not to get anywhere near her. Like, she got, it's called, I forget what it's called. Yes, basically, he cannot go anywhere near her, and this all happened on a couple of different occasions. But yeah, she's been granted a protective, I forget what it's called. Jesus. Anyway, long story short, Halle and DDG have had like a lot going on, because DDG has been on stream, on Twitch, on all these other platforms where he can stream, and he's been talking smack about Halle, like calling her all sorts of names, basically just being very vile about her and her name. And unfortunately for him, or unfortunately for her as well, she then has to give this child that they share, Halo, to him for, you know, parental right, like he has the parental rights to have their child, Halo, right? On one of the days that he was coming to pick up Halo, Halle was trying to strap the child into the car, and it was during this point that he said, "Get out of my car, B. Get out of my car, B." And she's like, "I'm just trying to strap him in." "Get out of my car, B." And as she's trying to strap him in, he starts to cry because of all this confrontation. And DDG grabs her by the hair and slams her face on the steering wheel. And you can actually see a picture of her tooth getting chipped, like her tooth is chipped from this. And he continues to actually, now they get into like this whole tussle and fighting and fighting and fighting. And that leads to her having bruises. She said she's not getting out of this car because of how agitated he was. She said she'll have to go all the way in this car with him to the house, make sure that she's left him with the other people who are supposed to be taking care of him, and then leave, right? So that's what happened. That is incident 1. Incident 2, she's just on vacation, right? She's somewhere else, not in her house. DDG breaks into her house without her permission, takes a picture of her bed, sends it to her saying, "I know what you've been doing," insinuating that she's been sleeping with other men on their bed. Does it even matter? She's not your girlfriend, she's not your wife, she's not anything to you. Why are you bothered if she's having intercourse with other? This is so creepy because she's not home. He had no permission to get in there, right? Another occasion where, again, she is on the family vacation with her mother for Mother's Day, with her sister, her mother. They're having a good time. You can see the videos and all of that. He then sends her a message of multiple links showing that she is allegedly at this vacation with some guy. What was his name? Allegedly, the guy goes by the name of Brent Fayaz. So basically, he's insinuating that she's over there for Mother's Day trying to be and get with this guy. And she's like, "I wouldn't do that. I'm here with our son. Like, I wouldn't be bringing a guy on a trip when our son is here. Like, what is happening? Please stop this. Let me enjoy my Mother's Day, and I hope you are okay." And she moves on from it. So all of these things are now getting to the point where she's like, she needs to get a restraining order against this man. And she went and got this restraining order. After the judge heard it, she granted her this restraining order. He needs to be 100 yards away from her at any point. He can't come any close to her. And he also allowed for her to take their kid, Halo, to Italy, where she'll be filming for 2 months. It is crazy. And the judge also said he needs to stop streaming and being online talking smack about Halle, because obviously this is part of the problem. The story continues to unfold, because how are there two? You know what? I actually really liked this comment someone had put up under this post where they said, "Oh my God, these young guys dating female celebrities are trash." From Keke Palmer's ex, do you remember that story? Yeah, he beat her up mad. To Diddy's ex, to Tory Lanez, who shot Megan in the foot. Yeah, to Tiana Taylor's ex, to Chris Brown, who is still continuing to be a problem. These dudes are just doing too much. He said, "Ladies, you are aware that you have permission to date regular men that went to college, right? You know that guys that are normal, good looking, don't beat you up or embarrass you or force you to call the police, right? Start dating men who went to school, who went to medical school, and stop with these problematic young men." And I agree with that completely. Sometimes though, unfortunately, you think the guy is nice and then you get in the relationship with him and then you're like, oh no, I thought you were nice. I thought you were a good man, only for you to realize much, much later on that they are actually a piece of trash.